Okay, welcome to my week 5 update. Doing pretty good. I'm on my way into work here. So for my weight, that's always my first thing here because that was my initial goal of doing this diet. And I weighed in today 194.5. So I've got a total loss of 20.3 pounds from the start of carnivore 5 weeks ago. So I can't complain. I'm feeling really good. My all my fat levels on my scale have gone down. Even my visceral fat, which was at 18, I want to say. Oh gosh, it was 19 back in January, and I want to say the beginning of carnivore it was 17 because I had done some, walking and trying to eat healthier prior to doing carnivore. And I ended up, let's see, I went down to 16 and then, no, so 17, 16, I hit 15, I want to say 2 weeks ago. And I was so excited that I lost a good percentage of my visceral fat. And then today it was 14. So I think under 10 is normal. It's considered within normal limits. Like 6 to 10 is normal. So I'm very happy with that. That is where I've lost actually a lot of my weight is in my belly. And so that's been a very good feeling. People at work have been noticing my weight loss. And that also obviously, makes me feel like I'm on the right track and, makes me feel that it's starting to be very noticeable and everything else. So anyway, what I've been, no, let's go into my symptoms. So all of my joint pain is pretty much gone. I can lay on my left side, my right side. That was the biggest thing too, was I always had this left hip pain. I could very rarely lay on my left side at night. Like during the day, if I was walking, my left hip didn't bother me, but at night it would just ache so bad I couldn't lay on it. So I've actually been sleeping on my left side a lot, and that really has been really good. So it took a couple of weeks for it to kind of start going away, and I'd have a little bit here and there. But the biggest thing that I noticed regarding pain, which was actually fascinating, was I took a spill at work 3 days ago. I'll say about 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. And it was an accident. Somebody was pushing their computer that's on wheels, and they didn't see me coming. I was walking, and they kind of pushed the wheel in front of my foot, and that tripped me as I was going forward. I didn't see them. They didn't see me. And I went flying. I did. I went flying and ended up just landing on my right knee and then my right shoulder. And so I iced it because it did hurt, but it wasn't broken or anything. I could walk and everything. And I'm like, oof, it's going to be really sore tomorrow. But I iced it for about 30 minutes. They gave me some time to sit down and ice it, and went back to work. But as the night progressed, I could feel it swell. I took some ibuprofen. I could feel it swell, and then I could feel like that tightness. It was getting tight. Same with my shoulder. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to move tomorrow. My neck was sore, so I had a little bit of whiplash. Next day I woke up, zero pain. The only pain I had is if I actually touched my knee, I thought for sure I was going to bruise, because I did have a big red mark, and I thought that it was just going to bruise. And I woke up, I've got nothing. I woke up the next day and went right back to work. And so it was a hard floor. I like legit landed all my body weight on that knee. So that's a good testament to this diet with healing. And with injuries, I feel that we heal a lot easier and a lot faster. And that was just amazing to me, because again, I felt that tightness. I felt my muscles really, really tight that evening as I was working. And I've had that before. I've had whiplash. I've had injuries where it's like, I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. And I was. But this time I wasn't. So that's a really good thing. Other symptoms, I can't say really off the top of my head. I mean, my skin's been way clearer. I've cut down on my cheese and dairy, which dairy would make my eczema break out a little bit, like very small amount. And I've been having blue cheese this week, and it hasn't seemed to bother me. So that's been good. So really, a lot of my symptoms, even like simple things like the dandruff in my hair, I would always have flakes of skin because of my eczema. Every time I would brush my hair, it was like snowing. It's disgusting, but that's just how my skin has always been. And I don't have that anymore. So that's really good. So that's really been a lot of good changes regarding that. As for other things, I don't know. I can't really say because I've just been working. Last week I worked 5 days in a row after my kids came to visit me last week. We went to Yosemite and Sequoia Parks, did a lot of hiking, and then as soon as I put them on a plane at like 10:30 at night, I came back and I worked 5 days in a row, 12-hour shifts, so 60 hours for the week. And then I had 1 day off yesterday, did all my laundry. I didn't even go grocery shopping because I had leftover, my beef chuck roasts that I had put in the freezer, and I took out to defrost about 3 or 4 days ago. And I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm just not eating as much, and I still feel really good. So anyway, so yes, I've been eating, like I said, as little as possible. I did notice, I want to say, like, my liver was acting up a little bit. I don't know why. All I can think of is maybe not enough fat. I was having maybe a little too much protein. I was having the chuck roast and the chicken wings with some blue cheese, so there was a lot of fat there in my opinion, but I also didn't really butter a lot of things. And so what I did was I made those brown butter bites people talk about and stuff, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And I bought some little molds, and so I actually made some. And the thought of, I mean, nothing against, the Butter Girl on YouTube. She's lovely. She's got a great energy. But when I watch her bite into a stick of butter, I want to vomit. I don't know why. It's very, it just grosses me out. So, I don't get me, I don't know. But I did make my little butter bites I have here, and I made them really small. So you can see I made the little star shapes, and they're very thin, and I'm going to build myself up to eating more butter. But they do taste definitely different than just a stick of butter. And so I'm going to, I nibble on them, and having that little bit of brown, I don't know what that brown stuff, I think it's the milk fat I don't know what browns it up, but all I know is that part tastes pretty good. It's got a distinct flavor, and I actually like it. So I can tolerate the butter flavor. Like, I love butter and everything, but eating it raw, just, like I said, it grosses me out. I don't know. So I'm going to work myself up to these little tiny butter bites. So we'll see. Other than that, when I had one last night, I seemed to feel better. So I brought like 4 or 5 of them, which is probably only not even a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon total. And I know I got to eat more, but like I said, I'm working myself up to it. And we'll try to incorporate more fat in my diet. I did fry up some fish I bought the beef tallow, the Wagyu beef tallow, and fried up some fish, and it tasted really good. So I poured the extra oil not oil, but the fat on the tallow on top of the fish. And that was really good. So I'm really trying to incorporate more fat because I feel like I need that. And I need also, from what I've been reading, just because my gallbladder had issues way back, I mean, we're talking 22 years ago, before my daughter was born, I was told I need my gallbladder removed. I never had it removed. And so I know that my gallbladder is not at its best. So what I plan to do is, just by reading other people's stories and just my own research, I got to have probably smaller meals because I'm not making enough bile and I'm not making enough digestive enzymes. And I think that I know I've heard a lot of people say they take the TUDCA, they take digestive enzyme pills. And again, my whole purpose of doing this diet is to actually get away from all the supplements. I've been on supplements, and yes, they have helped me tremendously with many ailments and issues. But the diet itself, I believe, is its own supplement, if you will. You don't need those supplements, in my opinion, except for maybe the first few weeks. And so when I was reading about how to stimulate your own, bile production and digestive enzymes, it's multiple small meals. That goes away from my one meal a day, which was what I was doing. But with these butter bites, I'm wondering if I can just do a little bit, like every few hours, to kind of stimulate that, so I can work up back to my one meal a day, or one meal a day with a snack, like I had been doing. But like I said, it's really, I think, affecting my liver to some extent. Nothing horrible. I don't have any pain, anything like that. It's just my stool color, things like that I notice, that I've known in the past has been a sign of just a little bit of my liver overworking and not digesting fats properly. So I'm just going to try to, switch things around for myself. That's just, kind of what I do, and see how I do with that. And we'll go from there. So, yeah, until my 6 weeks, I will see you next week.